Eid al-Mawlud, First Lady leads national prayers, admonishes youths against antisocial behaviors.
1.7 million new job entrants come into the job market every year. We are 4 million pupils short of our target of school feeding, even though we're feeding 9.3 million.
Engage in philanthropic ventures to support social investment programs. Vice President Oshibajo charges Nigerians. Federal government pest-resistant cotton seeds gives hope to farmers and textile industry players.
Part of what we all read about as the Trans-Saharan trade route.
Financing 9 Trans-Saharan highways tops 70th session of Trans-Saharan Roads Liaison Committee. Good evening. This is the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Thank you for joining me tonight. Michael Olale will be reading from Lagos and Suleiman Abdullahi Rajikun is in Kaduna. Let's begin from London, where President Muhammadu Buhari has visited the Lambeth Palace, the official London residence of the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby. The president was received by the Archbishop of Canterbury, Reverend Justin Welby, who has been a regular visitor to the Nigeria House in London as guest of President Muhammadu Buhari. Nigeria and England share a long history of cordial relations, and this reciprocal visit is a testimony to these relations. Pictures released by the Special Assistant to the President on new media. I'll take that again. Pictures released by the Special Assistant to the President on new media, Bashir Ahmad, show President Muhammadu Buhari with the Most Reverend Justin Welby at the Lambeth Palace on the south bank of River Thames. And in Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari has admonished Muslims to follow the shining examples of non-violence, peaceful disposition, and remarkable virtues of patience, characteristics of Prophet Muhammad, which he described as the greatest honor to commemorate Prophet Muhammad's birthday. President Buhari added that imbibing the virtues will also impact greatly on changing attitudes than the best sermons ever will in tackling violent extremism, ideologies, and indiscriminate killings, which portrays Islam in bad light. President Buhari also advised parents not to allow their children to be lured and recruited by extremists who will ultimately destroy their lives and future. Nigeria's First Lady, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has equally admonished Muslims to do only that which pleases the Prophet in order to earn Almighty Allah's pleasure. She stated this at a special prayer for Nigeria at the State House, Abuja.
May Almighty Allah accept our prayers.
It is Eid al-Mawlud, a blessed event in the Muslim family, as Prophet Muhammad steps to the world. Here at the banquet hall in the presidential villa, Abuja, faithful of the revered faith gathered, drawing inspiration from this auspicious occasion to seek divine intervention on the nation's challenges and aspirations. Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Buhari reminded the congregation the need to work towards ending some social vices, especially among the youths.
Challenges like corruption, drug abuse among women and young people. With the consent of Mr. President, I decided to come up with a presidential task force on drug abuse. We decided to come up with a task force. Since our Chief of Staff is here, he will help us to push it, to hasten the inauguration of the task force.
For the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, loyalty to leaders should go beyond the lips.
May each and every one of us not just continue to say Buhari, we should act Buhari, by also not being corrupt. May Almighty Allah continue to be with us and guide us and continue to make us model for the righteous.
Easy for us. Allahumma nas'aluka al-huda. It's easy for us.
From Eid al-Mawlud to the plight of indigent women and children in northeastern part of the country, whose lives are about to change for the better. This is because more than 5 billion naira has been raised in their support. The fund was raised at a dinner organized by a non-governmental organization in support of children around the world, especially in Nigeria. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who was at the event, says it is obvious that government alone cannot provide the needs of all, and expressed the need for more philanthropic gestures in support of social programs in the country. State House correspondent Jide Onefade was there.
It's all about the Nigerian children. This dance drama paints the prowling diseases and avoidable conflicts that have placed women and children in pitiable conditions, not only in Nigeria, but across the globe. In every minute, 2 or more children may be losing their lives to a disease that is preventable or treatable. In Nigeria, Save the Children Fund is working with the Kupi Foundation, headed by Florence Ifeoluwa Otedola.
I went to Borno State, and the first child I met at Molai Hospital was only 2 years old. She was so malnourished that she needed a blood transfusion. Bed after bed, I met more and more sick children dying, including a 16-year-old mother who was also malnourished.
Although hundreds of millions of children have been saved through radical approach by governments across the world to reduce child mortality, according to Global Childhood Report 2019, released by the Save the Children campaigners, the general feeling, however, is that more could still be done by respective governments, organizations, and even on individual level to prevent death of 44.4 million children annually.
Yet we are far from where we ought to be. 1.7 million new job entrants come into the job market every year. We are 4 million pupils short of our target for school feeding, even though we're feeding 9.3 million. When we looked at our last estimates, we should be doing 15 million in microcredits to make the difference that we should make. We're at 2 million. It's obvious that government cannot do it alone. It is time for each and every one of us to decide that we really can make a difference and make our own contribution to this cause of ensuring that the poor and the vulnerable are given a decent life and attain some dignity while they are alive.
Women don't eat up the money by themselves or their family. They make sure that they give it to others.
Organizers promised that the proceeds from the event will go towards the foundation's programs that will benefit thousands of Nigerians in need. A number of serving governors and dignitaries, including the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshomole, and former Senate President Bukola Saraki, were in attendance. Abuja, Jide Onefade, NT News.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, says it is determined to reduce the level of substandard and falsified medicines to the barest minimum in the country through effective collaboration with relevant stakeholders. Director General NAFDAC, Professor Mojishola Adeye, made this known while evaluating the agency's performance and prospects in Abuja. Basi Itaikman now reports.
Substandard and falsified medicines have become a global problem that presents enormous public health challenges to national medicines regulatory authorities in both developed and developing countries, including Nigeria. To this end, the agency that is responsible for ensuring standards in the sector has been highly proactive and vigilant towards safeguarding the health of Nigerians in a determined effort to combat falsified medicines.
Looking back, I can say with confidence that our goal to curb the menace of substandard falsified medicines has become crispier than ever. One of our strategic plans is to reduce substandard falsified medicines to not more than 5% prevalence in Nigeria by the year 2025.
while stressing the need to encourage Nigerian manufacturers to produce standard drugs. NAFDAC, however, advised the public to desist from buying drugs online.
Having known that significant amounts of substandard falsified medicines are imported as unregistered or registered but later was compromised with the drug content after approval.
The NAFDAC boss observed that 12 people were arrested between November 2017 and November 2019, but appealed to the judiciary for severe penalties, considering the effect of their actions in human beings. Basi Taipa, NTA News.
Member countries of the Trans-Saharan Roads Liaison Committee are in Abuja for the 70th session of the committee to share ideas on how to address some developmental issues and financing the Trans-African Highway Plan, expected to connect the whole of Africa. Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, announced that a total of 9 highways are meant to achieve the connectivity, adding that 3 of the highways pass through the territory of Nigeria.
The third, and the one about which we are gathered today, is the Lagos-Algiers Highway. Now, it is important to contextualize that this is part of what we all read about as the Trans-Saharan trade route. This was the road of camels and horses. So how much Africa has progressed now is that with the partnership of all of the men sitting here and all of the experts, 80% of the road that used to be traveled by camels and horses, footpaths, is now motorable.
The Trans-Saharan Road, being a major economic route in Nigeria, will continue to receive the desired attention so that it will facilitate not only economic activity, but also regional and continental integration.
It is more than desirable that we can conceive together a vision, concerted, harmonious, and integrated economic development to maximize our potential.
Correspondent Joseph Johnson reports that the committee comprised 6 countries: Mali, Algeria, Tunisia, Niger, Chad, and Nigeria. It was established in 1966 to encourage road networks, socio-economic activities, development, cooperation, and trade within member countries. On a lighter note, President Muhammadu Buhari warmly greets former governor of Anambra State, Dem Virgie Itiaba, who turns 77, describing her as the good teacher who completely altered the history of Nigeria as the first female governor. In a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says the President joins family members, friends, professional and political associates in celebrating the quintessential leader and urged Dem Itiaba not to imbue the younger generation with her nation-building legacy. President Buhari prays that the Almighty God strengthen Dem Itiaba, grants her longer life and good health. You're watching the network news on the network service of the NTA. We have more news after the break. Join us again.
I beg go. I feel like saying the food don't take time finish. Push!
When they're supposed to buy food, they will not buy. We look here. It's still that same 200 naira food. We will still buy.
Okay, to 200. Make I put your usual bill.
Yes, but you go add 888. Join now.
It's a big level.
Is it not 200 you give that lady?
Now 888 is that.
888 now the new AWOOF. Recharge with star 888 star pin hash to enjoy 5 times AWOOF from MTN to call any network. You fit also enjoy them on top VTU. Just ask your vendor for AWOOF for you.
Conductor, where my energy?
Office man, you don't forget money self.
Oh, forget. You go even hard 888. Join that shit. Give my change.
Governor Yahya Bello is evidently a man favored. The multitude of friends, party men and women who gathered to witness the flag-off of the gubernatorial campaign of Governor Yahaya Bello, the brand new Oga Onogwata of Ata Igala, and his amiable deputy governor, Chief Edward Onoja, provides a resounding proof. A gathering that has this caliber of people in attendance is indeed a testimony of a man who is well in touch with the appropriate political classes that will further connect Kogi State to the sources of development and prosperity. Today, investors are indicating interest to do business in Kogi State. Kogi is firmly connected to the center that works. The Ajokuta Steel Company is about to witness a dramatic turnaround that will revive the pride and worth of the state. Let's join hands to put Kogi on the national map of development. Vote Yahaya Bello and his deputy, Chief Edward Onoja, a rational choice.
Hello. Hi, Jenny. Can you supply 1,000 bottles of juice by noon?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello? Jenny. Auntie, please, I need a loan. Hurry up! Hello?
The number cannot be reached.
Clean that up! Clean that up! The order is on the way.
Are you an entrepreneur looking for financing to grow your business? Here's good news. Development Bank of Nigeria now provides sustainable financing through commercial banks, microfinance banks, and other financial institutions with repayment terms of up to 10 years. Please do remember, paying back your loan in good time will give you access to more loans.
Development Bank of Nigeria. Financing sustainable growth.
The Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development Africa Youth Day Celebration 2019. Theme: 1 million by 2021. Count me in. The Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Mr. Sunday Dari, invites all Nigerian youths to join him as he launches the FMYSD New Deal for Nigerian youth. You have a chance to be among 1 million young Africans who will benefit from direct opportunities in the areas of education, employment, entrepreneurship, and engagement. Other key attractions include launch of the pocket-sized National Youth Policy (NYP), launch of the National Youth Policy app, panel discussion with leading youth organizations, opportunity for you to be shortlisted for the Ministry's Work Experience Program. Date: 12th November 2019. Registration starts 9 a.m. Event starts 10 a.m. For more details, visit www.youthandsport.gov.ng and sign up. Announcer, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development.
Your hogs are a comfy place for dropping in, for lazing around, and hanging out. So we've designed our hugs to be just as comfy, with a super absorbent core to lock wetness away, and the soft, flexible waistband. Our most comfortable diaper keeps baby comfy at every angle. We'll never stop finding new ways to hug more like you. Huggies, your hugs inspire ours.
Strongest, no challenge can stop us, so let Motor Goodness fuel your greatness. Let's go.
Helpline Foundation Nigeria and partners present the 3rd Annual Africa Women Conference AWC 2019, a gathering of experts, institutions, corporate organizations, and individuals promoting the growth, stability, and development of African women, through which various resources available to African women can be channeled towards the sustainable development of the continent.
Keynote speakers: Dame Paul Talin, Ramatu Tijani Aliu, Madam Magdala Cooper, Binta Masigarba, Karima Ranim, Ibtisame Azal, Dr. Anissa Nagra, veteran Nollywood actors and actresses.
Theme: Building a Coalition to End Gender Inequality in Africa. Date: 21st to 23rd November 2019. Venue: Kenzi Menara Palace, Marrakesh, Morocco. For participation and inquiries, visit www.africa-womenconference.org or call +234 806 5388424. AWC, building an Africa where every woman's potential is fully harnessed. Powered by Helpline Foundation Nigeria, Echoes Africa Initiatives New York, International Center for Diplomacy, Morocco.
The Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, cordially invites the general public to the 2019 Abuja Carnival, taking place between 23rd and 25th November 2019. Theme: Culture for Peace. Street Carnival and Opening Ceremony, Saturday 23rd November 2019. Venue from Old Parade Ground to Area 1 Abuja. Time from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Other cultural activities on display are Children's Fiesta at GSS Area 10 Garki Abuja, Durbar at Kuje Stadium, Boat Regatta at Jabi Dam, Masquerade Fiesta at Government Day Secondary School, Gwagwalada, Traditional Cuisine Fair and Bush Bar at Old Parade Ground, Command Performance and Award Night, as well as Contemporary Music Fiesta at the Old Parade Ground from 23rd to 25th November 2019. Time from 8:30 p.m. till dawn daily. Deaconess Grace Isu Gekbe, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, announcer.
Welcome back to NTA Network News. Positive signs are emerging from the federal government's efforts at reviving Nigeria's collapsed textile and garment sector. The good news is that government is introducing with new cotton seeds that are pest-resistant following successful trials. Correspondent Musa Baba Aliyu examines the characteristics of the new seeds and its socio-economic impact.
This is how cotton plants look like. It produces balls at its maturing stage, which will later burst to bring out soft tissue fiber. Agriculturists say Nigerian farmers have been planting the cash crop since 1903, largely in the savanna belt, consisting states in the northern and southwestern parts of the country.
One of the highest employers of labor in this country. And it also created hundreds of thousands of jobs in the different textile mills.
In recent times, however, there is the fear that cotton in Nigeria will extinct as farmers have lost interest in its cultivation. This is due to high costs of production caused by insect infestation, low yield, coupled with issues relating to demand and supply.
Without cotton, sustainable cotton production, then obviously the indigenous, who are the immediate users of the cotton produced by farmers, will not meet their installed capacities.
The federal government's policy towards reviving textile industries challenged the country's scientists on the need to produce a high-yielding variety of cotton seeds that are easy to manage and are pest-resistant.
The technology that will address the root cause of abandoning of abandoning cotton production in Nigeria, revamp it, and also lower the cost of the production to farmers.
Consequently, a new variety has been identified which has undergone a series of field and lab trials and are judged among the best in the world.
This crop is producing about 200 balls per plant, as against our existing crop that is producing less than 50 balls.
The African continent's chance to benefit from these technologies, however, lies heavily on its ability to efficiently communicate its potential benefits.
The Central Bank of Nigeria had already incorporated 100,000 farmers into her Anchor Borrowers program, with 190 billion naira set aside to support textile, lint, and garment industrialists. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
From those good hopes on cotton production in Nigeria to election matters, a court of appeal in Ibadan has dismissed the petition filed by Allied People's Movement, APM, and its governorship candidate, Abdul Kabir Akinlade, challenging the judgment of the governorship election petition tribunal, which affirmed the election of Prince Dakpo Abiodun of the All Progressives Congress, APC, as the governor of Ogun State.
Allied People's Movement and its governorship candidate, Honorable Abdul Kabir Akinlade, had appealed the judgment of Election Petition Tribunal delivered on September 14, 2019, insisting that Prince Dakpo Abiodun was not qualified to contest the election and that the governor did not win the March 9 governorship election in Ogun State. The court, in a unanimous decision, held that the appeal lodged by Allied People's Movement lacked merit, and the presiding judge, Mohammed Danjuma, delivered judgment in favor of Prince Dakpo Abiodun.
Thank God the Court of Appeal has delivered its judgment in favor of the respondent and have equally confirmed that Dapo Abiodun is the governor of Ogun State by lawful votes.
Meanwhile, it was jubilation for members of All Progressives Congress (APC) who were at the court. They described the judgment as victory for the people and commitment to the rule of law.
Expected anything less than this. This is the real judgment.
What the people of Ogun State said, that indeed they voted for President Abiodun. For us as well, we're not gloating about this. We're always simply challenged to do more for the people of Ogun State.
The governor has been at peace before, but is going to be more relaxed now to do the job of governance.
With this victory, people say the governor should not be distracted anymore. They advised him to focus on actualizing his dream of repositioning Ogun State to an enviable standard.
In another development, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has reserved judgment in the appeals filed by the governorship candidates of the All Progressives Congress, the APC, the Action Alliance, and the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, challenging the victory of Governor Emeka Ihedioha at the March 9, 2019 governorship election in Imo State. Olabode Arewa reports that both the appellants and the respondents have opened and closed their cases.
The candidate of the All Progressives Congress at the last governorship election in Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, his counterpart in the Action Alliance, Uche Nwosu, and Ifeanyi Ararume of the All Progressives Grand Alliance filed separate appeals, saying that the Imo State Election Petition Tribunal erred when it upheld Governor Emeka Ihedioha's victory. The applicants argued that Ihedioha of the PDP did not win in 2/3 of the polling units in Imo State. Raising a point of objection, however, the counsel to Emeka Ihedioha, Okeze Ikpeazu, SAN, said the appellant's cases lack merit as their motions have not matched their arguments.
The grievance is that the sitting governor did not satisfy the requirements of the Constitution.
We had several grounds, 25 grounds, and they've done our job. The presiding justice, Justice Oyebisi Omoleye, thereafter reserved judgment to a future date which will be communicated to the parties. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Barely 5 days to the governorship election in Kogi State, one of the political parties cleared for the election by INEC has recorded a setback. The Social Democratic Party secretariat in Lokoja was attacked by yet-to-be-identified political thugs. Ajibola Christopher reports.
The Social Democratic Party Secretariat, SDP, in Lokoja has been burnt down by some unknown gunmen. An eyewitness, who is the secretary of the party, told NTA News that there was sporadic gunshot. The gubernatorial candidate of the party, Natasha Akpoti, alongside the running mate who inspected the building, described the destruction as a threat to democracy and called on security agents in the state to fish out the culprit.
You cannot go out of your way and deliberately cause harm and destruction to people and their properties. It's not right.
Last Thursday, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja overturned INEC decision to disqualify her to contest the November 16th election in the state. In Lokoja, Ajibola Christopher, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the leadership of the Social Democratic Party has condemned in strong terms Sunday's attack on its candidate, Natasha Akpoti, at the governorship campaign secretariat in Lokoja by suspected political thugs. A statement by the party's national spokesperson, Yemi Akimbode, described the attack as unfortunate. It regrets that some persons have resorted to the use of thugs to vandalize and destroy the property of other political parties in an attempt to intimidate and terrorize voters. Elsewhere, a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Nasiru Haladu Dano, is touching lives through a medical outreach that targets more than 5,000 people in Dutse, the Jigawa state capital. Awal Muhammad Al-Kazori reports that the APC stalwart also donated vehicles to the state police command.
The medical outreach, which was organized under the auspices of Nasiru Haladu Dano Foundation, was conducted by a team of physicians from the United States of America. The doctors will be consulting patients on various ailments and distribute drugs at no cost. The organizer, Alhaji Nasiru Haladu says the objective of the medical outreach is to help the poor have access to good medical care.
We are expecting to have about 5,000 participants in this medical mission. By the grace of God, it will be ended on Monday and it's going to be successful.
To improve the health of his fellow countrymen by providing funds to allow committed healthcare professionals to use their skills to improve health in men, women and children.
The representative of Jigawa State Government, Secretary to the State Government and the Emir of Dutse commended the outreach initiative, saying it will add value to the healthcare services in the state. Earlier, the foundation has donated 7 vehicles to Jigawa State Police Command to improve security surveillance. From Dutse, Awal Muhammad Kazauri, NTA News.
Well, I'll take you to Lagos for more news with Michael Olale. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Muhammad, and welcome to Lagos. Another major tragedy was averted in Lagos this Monday when a tanker loaded with 33,000 litres of petrol exploded at Ipaja Road in Alimosho area. Dotun Ogunyemi reports that though 2 vehicles were burned, no life was lost as the firefighters and other rescue agencies proactively responded and averted disaster.
The reportedly raging fire had been put out and the area cordoned off by emergency responders, leaving the carcass of the tanker and 2 vehicles in its wake. The activities of petrol tankers in and out of the area is largely due to the presence of oil depots in its environs, which residents say poses threats to lives and property.
We thank God that security is around and they come quickly to rescue the tanker.
Oladokun Idowu is a taxi driver. His only means of livelihood was partly burnt in the fire.
We see all the trailer they pass here. After the last one, the cable wire is caught, spark, and catch this one and spoil our motor. Before I carry this motor come out here, the only God help me.
The incident has forced motorists to seek alternative routes, with built-up traffic easing off due to the holiday. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
A specialized training program aimed at improving the skills of officers working in Cabinet Affairs Office and those relating with them at the ministries, departments and agencies has ended in Lagos. Ken Ebeluge reports that the 3-day training program on cabinet documentation and policy management processes was organized by the Cabinet Affairs Office of the Government of the Federation.
The importance of human capacity building in any organization cannot be overstressed, and most of the countries that are leading the world in industrial development is not solely based on their resources, but on the ability to utilize the human capacity at their disposal. The objective of the 3-day training, the Permanent Secretary, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation explained, is to improve the skills of the Directorate and senior level officers at the ministries, departments, and agencies in the area of policy management.
This training will help the MDAs to begin to package the memos properly so that in terms of consideration, the processing time will be reduced and it will lead to policies, projects and programs which government wants to put in place for citizens to actually achieve the democratic dividends which they so desire and campaign for.
The hands-on training is expected to prepare the participants for the development of robust memoranda that will in turn lead to the government's resolve to move Nigeria to the next level.
By giving them the needed skills, knowledge and attitude to enable them to prepare Federal Executive Council memos and drafts.
Technology keeps, improving with time, so we can't afford to stay on what, we were doing before. We keep, wanting to advance and keep up with what is happening technologically and otherwise.
This is the second in the series of training to sharpen the skills of officers in the MDAs. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
That's a contribution from Lagos. Network News continues after this timeout. Please stay tuned.
Use. Let me give phone to Smally, make I follow up.
Go. It's Wasil, your former driver.
Wasil, the video call. Oh, Kaka. Mommy. With my Glow 4G, I can now upload my cars online, sell, and make plenty profit. That's what they call me now, mommy. The new mega online car dealer.
Wasil, right now when the iron is hot.
See, we won't be like Shaki. I will come and meet you specially and bring one big one for you.
Why you won't see me?
Your daughter. I want to marry her.
You know well? I've been wanting to do it.
Hello?
When Glow 4G day of you, confidence must stay body. Data is oxygen. Glow 4G, the new speed of life. Your number one 4G network nationwide. The very best from Glow, the grandmasters of data.
Gain peace of mind with an efficient laundry cycle. Feel cooler air even at midday. Enjoy mealtime with food kept fresh all day long. Better inverter, LG inverter.
Ooh, that's the biggest cube I've ever seen.
Bigger is better. Discover new Geno Max, 25% bigger for a greater aroma and a richer taste.
Wow, that's big. Bigger is better.
New Geno Max 5 grams seasoning cube. Chicken and spice flavors. Bigger is better.
In Nigeria, there is one sound we need to silence. So let's silence toothache before it starts. With Oral-B all-round protection, its advanced technology helps prevent both tooth holes and gum problems that can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your teeth, giving them all-round protection. Because the only sound we really want to hear is that of our future. For healthier, stronger teeth in 1 week.
Discover the all-new Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Lotion, specially formulated with Nivea's Deep Moisture Serum and Africa's natural cocoa for 48-hour deep moisture. Glowing, radiant skin with Nourishing Cocoa Lotion from Nivea. Get 48-hour deep moisture from the new range of Nivea Body Lotion.
You can now win smartphones and thousands of mobile recharge cards in the Center Fresh and Center Fruits Text and Win promo. Just buy Center Fresh or Center Fruits liquid filled cards. SMS code on the wrapper to 20050 and stand a chance to win every day. Offer from 1st of November to 31st of December. So keep texting, keep winning.
This year, like every other year, for over a decade, we celebrate and reward African creatives around the world at the African Academy Awards ZAFA 2019 in Abuja, Nigeria. The second homecoming event is a 3-day gathering of industry stakeholders and enthusiasts to network as well as encourage and motivate budding talents. The movie screenings, exhibitions, and masterclasses will hold at the Silverbird Galleria on the 22nd to 23rd November 2019. The awards and gala night on the 24th of November 2019 at the prestigious Transcorp Hilton Hotel Abuja. For inquiries and sponsorship, advert placements, and tickets, call the following numbers on your screen now or visit www.zafa.org.
This is wonderful.
I'm super excited about this. Nothing is expected of them other than awesomeness.
ZAFA 2019. Come expecting the unexpected.
Thank you. Welcome back to our Abuja studios on Network News. Imo State Governor Emeka Ehedioha has stressed the importance of palm oil as an important cash crop that can, as he stressed, can be imposed and drive economic development of the Southeast region. Governor Ehedioha stated this at the Southeast Regional Engagement of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment held in Owerri, Imo State. Chukwubike Chukwu has the details.
The need for ease of doing business cannot be overemphasized, as government alone cannot provide jobs for its citizens. This makes the provision of enabling environment by the government necessary to drive the nation's economy. Governor Emeka Ehedioha, while addressing the gathering, says agricultural produce and huge deposit of oil and gas in the Southeast region, if properly harnessed, will create millions of employment for the people.
About
major markets that you know. One, the Onitsha market. Two, Arera market. And of course, the Nnewi market. It's a huge market, huge consumption. So, with the airline, it will facilitate trade and business.
The special advisor to the president on ease of doing business, Jumoke Adewola, who led the delegation, says the role of SMEs in the development of the nation's economy cannot be overemphasized. She called on government within the southeast to take advantage of inherent business potentials already existing in the zone.
The business landscape in Nigeria, the southeast and surely Imo State is ripe with opportunities in agriculture, manufacturing, trading, technology, hospitality, services. I'm convinced that the best is now set to come. At the federal level, we have a very strong interest in what's going on in Imo State.
The Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council was set up in July 2016 by President Muhammad Buhari to remove bureaucratic constraints to doing business in Nigeria in order to make the country a progressively easier place to start and grow a business. In Owerri, Chukwu-Bige Chukwu, NTA News.
As you are all aware, Nigerians have been observing today as a public holiday across the country. And as expected, business has a bearish outlook. But Muplan Kogi is here with an update on what's trending in business. Welcome, Muplan.
Thank you very much, Kudu, and good evening. Part of news trending is that the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Issa Pantami, has extended the deadline to the Nigerian Communications Commission, the NCC, to reduce the cost of data and stop illegal deductions from subscribers and service providers. A statement by the minister's spokesperson, Uwa Suleiman, explained that the NCC sought the extension of the deadline in a letter forwarded to Pantami, but the statement did not specify the new time frame given to the commission to act on the minister's orders. The minister had on Tuesday directed the commission to act on the directives within 5 working days. Now, digitization has taken over global economies, and we talked about smart farming and digital economy. Dr. Edwin Idu, a professor of agricultural communications and extension, says farmers in Nigeria cannot afford to ignore digital technology.
When we deploy information and communication technology, that will enhance their productivity to more output and more money in their pocket. So that is the essence of using a smart agriculture in production today. So we need to encourage the small-scale farmers to move into the smart agricultural age.
Meanwhile, while stock markets in Nigeria closed for the public holiday, stocks across the world were mostly lower this Monday. Let's see the performance of global markets. And that's business news at this time. We now join Suleiman Rigachuku in our Kaduna Network Center for more news. Hello, Suleiman.
Thank you and welcome to Kaduna Network Center. Relevant stakeholders have stepped up campaign against illicit and counterfeit drugs among secondary school students in Kaduna State. The campaign is coming on the heels of high rate of drug abuse, especially among youths. Abdullah Muhammad has the details.
A survey on the prevalence of drug abuse released in January 2019 revealed that about 14.3 million Nigerians between the ages of 15 to 64 are involved in drug abuse. The accuracy of the result of the survey may be put under contest But my interaction with these junior secondary school girls paints a gloomy scenario.
There is shamo that they used to take. Yeah, I'm not too sure of that, but you know, you see them running about its minerals. They have already put it inside.
Taking cognizance of the consequences of having a sizable number of its citizens, especially the youths involved in drug abuse, the federal government, through the Coordinated Control and other related matters working group, has dealt decisively with illicit drug supply channels, limiting drastically its proliferation.
And now the demand is what we are focusing on now. And these youths are the ones that are demanding for these things.
The Pharmacists Council of Nigeria, therefore, took up the responsibility of dealing with the factors that encourage the demand and addiction among the youths.
Drug abuse kills. Drug abuse destroys.
To make the messages impactful, football icon Daniel Amokachi was made to lead in communicating. Now that most of the students, like Samuel and David, have the right information in their hands, it is expected that they utilize it in saving their friends and colleagues from the shackles of drug abuse. Abdullahi Muhammad, NTA News.
About 600 farmers in Jigawa State have been trained on the new techniques of farming in the Sahel region for high-yield production of staple food crops. Marwa Musa Askira reports that the project, which is funded by the African Development Bank, has already come to fruition as the beneficiaries begin to harvest their farm produce cultivated with the new farming methods.
The project, which is led by the International Water Management Institute in Nigeria, is executed by Institute for Agricultural Research through the Technologies for Africa Agricultural Transformation Water Enabler Compact, TATWEC. Going under the African Feed Africa Initiative, Africa Agricultural Transformation Water Enabler Compact, TATWEC, adopted two key techniques, which are tight ridging and mulch furrow, to help farmers cope with the difficult farming practices in the short rainfall Sahel region. The techniques are majorly to manage water for growth of sorghum, which is one of the crops that thrive well in the semi-desert terrain. The program, which will be implemented in 3 years, began by showcasing the new farming techniques to the targeted farmers, followed by training them on the best way to use the new methods for maximal result, and by next farming season, the beneficiaries will be supported with capital and farm inputs to enable them practice their newly launched farming methods. The program, which is operating in the 4 states of Kaduna, Kano, Jigawa, and Nasarawa states, is training and supporting farmers in both rain-fed and irrigation farming systems.
Making agriculture to be able to deal with the issue of food security in Nigeria and enhance our GDP, we must go the way of technology.
We all rely on oil. Even if the oil will continue, it cannot keep Nigeria one. It cannot keep Nigeria healthy, and there will not be food security, and there will not be social security.
The mini-field show has attracted stakeholders and personalities from across the benefiting communities who were shown the impact of the new techniques on the sorghum demonstration farm in Gumel. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And that does it from here. It's back to you, Kudu, for more on the network news.
Thank you, Suleiman. Inspired by science and technology, young Nigerians are responding to the diversification drive of the federal government. They are now making waves in various fields of endeavor. Some of them, who were guests on NTA Good Morning Nigeria, shared their experiences and also urged their peers to quit searching for white-collar jobs. Patricia Isamai-Luba monitored the program and our reports.
Quite a number of Nigerian youth have been making the country proud by working on innovations that are inspired by gaps in the society and turning themselves to budding entrepreneurs.
In 2014, during the Ebola outbreak, we all remember that information were going around that people should take their bait with salt. Now, out of our ignorance and mismanagement of information, so many people drank that salt, which led to their untimely death. Now, our platform is where you can be able to verify any information in terms of outbreak in the health sector.
Long waiting times and high out-of-pocket costs constitute significant barriers to access to healthcare in Nigeria. And as someone that has background in healthcare, this is something I see every day. So it's all about trying to say, okay, these are problems. How do we come in? What do we have? What value can we leverage on to solve some of these challenges? So
we are working on developing ourselves. First of all, on human development. We realize that people are the backbone of society, and a lot of people that are unemployed, which the footwear industry can create so much opportunity for them.
I went for a training on hydroponics that I learned how to make this fodder, and with this fodder, in 7 to 9 days, we can be able to feed our cattle.
Although funding still remains a major challenge for these young Nigerian entrepreneurs, they believe entrepreneurship can reduce the burden of expectations on government as well as the constant pursuit for white-collar jobs. Patricia Esamiluba, NTA News.
Network News broadcasts live on the NTA. Let's take a short break. The news returns shortly.
From our wonderful family, meet our active triplets. Mixology, for example, mixes well with drinks. Then enjoy every quick meal with Slurp It Off. And everywhere you go, there is Go-Gurt. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy, Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good. Hollandia.
Meet the dreamer. Meet the stylish. Meet the bold. Meet the inquisitive. Meet the warrior. Meet the master. Meet the realist. The challenge is coming. Unity Challenge. Power, development, and peace. Coming soon.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. The governing board, management and staff of the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, announced with deep sorrow the death of Engineer Shehu Usman Abdullahi, who until his death was a board member and executive director, planning and engineering services of the agency. He died on the 26th October 2019 after a brief but meritorious service. He has since been buried according to Islamic rites. May Almighty Allah comfort his family and grant him al-Jannatul Firdaus. Management announcer.
In sports, Youth and Sports Ministry to roll out more developmental programs across the country. Gift George has the sports update.